Alright, this video is for discovering Algebra 1 Part 1, and it is worksheet 1-4. If you're in this class, you know the drill. Just grade your work now. If not, and you want to be, all you have to do is sign up below. By clicking that link, it'll bring you to my profile, and you'll see all my classes. Alright, so let's get started on seeing how I worked out these problems. Alright, let's start with the first one. So I have -5 times 3x plus 6, and I need to distribute through the -5. That means I multiply to every term inside the parenthesis. So it's going to be -5 times 3x, bring down my addition, -5 times 6. Alright, so -5 times 3 is a -15. The x is just along for the ride. Bring down my positive. -5 times 6, different signs when multiplying means a negative answer. 5 times 6 is 30. And I have these two signs. Now I'll accept this as an answer, but you should clean up these signs. A negative and a positive make a negative. So this is -15 minus 30. All right, distribute through the -3 to the x and the 9 on the inside of the parenthesis. This is called the distributive property. So it's going to be -3 times x, bring down subtraction, -3 times 9. -3 times x is -3x, bring down my subtraction. -3 times 9 is going to be 27. I have a double negative here. Now this one you have to clean up. Two negatives make a positive. They follow the same rules as multiplication of signed numbers. All right, so a little trick with these when you have a fraction in these is to just go ahead and distribute. Look at it, cross cancel, and you're done. Okay, so 1/2 times a -4x plus 1/2 times 6. All right, I'm going to put a 1 underneath this and a 1 underneath this. This 2 is going to cancel with this 4. So 2 can go into 2 one time and into 4 2 times. If I multiply across the top, it's -2 over 1. Now for this next one, which goes down to -2. For this next one, I'm just going to multiply as if I would if I were doing these fractions without reducing. So I'm showing you both ways. So 1 times 6 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. Now I can reduce. I forgot my x with this, didn't I? 2 goes into 6 3 times. So it's -2x plus 3. All right. All right, so now I have two distributings I have to do. Okay, so 5 times 2x is -10x. -5 times 1 is -5. -9 times 6 is -54x. -9 times 5 is a -45. Let's get our like terms together. So this -10x is like with this -54x, which is going to give me a -64x. And this -5 is like with this -45, giving me a -50. If you had put -64x plus -50, that would not be technically wrong, but you're more right if you were to reduce it. I'm not going to say either one's wrong, though. All right, let's go ahead and distribute these two in this one. 2 times 3x is 6x. So 2 times -5 is -10. All right. Positive this time. Positive 5 plus, times 3x is going to give me 15x. Positive 5 times -7 is going to give me a -35. You see how I treated that 7 as a negative this time? Could have been doing that all along. I'm skipping a step, basically. I would have reduced down those sides, but I was trying to work it slowly in the beginning. But as we get quicker, we can start looking at it as a negative instead of subtraction. If you've ever heard my speech on that, it's that I am one person, but I have two functions. I'm a wife and I'm a daughter, or I'm a wife and I'm a mother. Same thing with negative and positive signs. They hold two functions, but they're one symbol, and you can use it intermittently. All right, so 6x is like with 15x, and if I get those two things together, I get 21x. Negative 10 and negative 35 need to be gotten together, which makes a negative 45. Okay, that's like I went into Starbucks, I spent $10 on my credit card, went into Kohl's, spent $35 on my credit card. I owe my credit card $45. Halfway there. All right, distribute through my 3 first. So that's going to be 3 times negative x. That's an understood 1. So that's negative 3x. 3 times a negative 6 is negative 18. There's an understood 1 here, so I'm going to actually be bringing through a negative 1. Negative 1 times 5x is negative 5x. Negative 1 times a negative 9 is going to be a positive 9. Let's get these like terms together. I owe $18, but I have 9. I still owe 9. Oh, I thought we were halfway done, but we are just about done. Here's another fraction we can do. So first let's distribute the fraction through. So it's going to be negative 1/3 times 3x, and I'm going to put that over 1, plus negative 1/3 times 6, which I'm going to put over 1. Plus, and we're going to distribute through the 1/4. 1/4 times 8x, which I'm going to put over 1, and negative 16 over 1 times the 1/4. All right. This time I'm just going to multiply, reduce afterwards, but you can reduce before. 1 times 3x is going to be my negative 3x over 3. This is going to be a negative 6 over 3, just multiplying straight across. 8 over 4x minus 16 over 4. Okay, let's reduce. 3 over 3 is negative 1x plus 3 goes into 6, negative 2 times. 4 goes into 8 2 times. 4 goes into 16 4 times. All right, get our like terms together. Negative 1, negative 2 makes positive 1, which I'm just going to write as an x. Negative 2 and negative 6 are going to, negative 4 are going to make them negative 6. So I could have written like this, I could have written it like this, or I could have put my 1 in front of there and written it either of those ways. All right, understood 1, understood 1, understood 1. Negative 1 times a negative 1 is going to be positive 1. Negative 1 times a negative 6 is going to be a positive 6. Oh, I forgot my x on this one. Negative 1 times a negative 8x is going to be a positive 8x. Negative 1 times a negative 2 is going to be a positive 2. And then I have a negative 10 out there. All right. Like terms, 1x, 8x, get them together, gives me a 9x. Plus 6 plus 2 is 8. Minus that 10, and if I minus that 10, because I owe 10, I only have 8, I still owe $2. Last one. So let's bring the negative 5 through to everything in the parenthesis. So negative 5 times the 3x is 15x, and it's negative, because that's negative, that's positive. Negative 5 times the 6 is going to be a negative 30. Negative 5 times the negative 9x is going to be a positive 45x. Let's get our like terms together. I owe $15, but luckily I have $45. That means I have $30 to do something with still remaining in my pocket. There's nothing like with the negative 30, so it stays by itself. There you go. I hope that helped you. If you need any more worksheets or more instruction, just let me know. And other than that, I'll see you guys in class.